Wow, that's unbelievable. I'm just gonna cut them off. I must be quite relief for the plants, to be fair, because they're completely laden with them. And I did worry because we had so much rain that they might get the blight. There's nothing on them.
But weren't these the blight resistant ones?
These are the blight resistant, and they truly are. So these are definitely permanent feature, because you can only so much plant in a poly and thing, and you want also tomatoes which are going to be able to sort of grow outside. Oh, they're just fantastic. Just, this is what tomatoes are supposed to look like.
Just hope they taste as good as the ones in France.
Well, they do taste actually pretty good. I mean, I thought the same thing, but they actually are good.
Big rods around here.
Yeah, there you go, there's one. So this is today's harvest of Crimson Crush. Well, it's at least another that much to ripen, and it's starting to ripen, so hopefully next week and the week after, and the tomatoes will be finished. Nigel just picked some of the tomatoes from the polytunnel. There might be some more, but these are the ones you see definitely coming back. That is the Black Russian. So they are slightly splitting due to recent watering, and obviously that doesn't apply to the polytunnel, but obviously the water is more available now, and but no complaint whatsoever. So these are the cucumbers. Okay, so these are the La Diva, oversized. Hopefully they will not be bitter. And there is still some coming. I think Nigel is trying to go through the... That's 4. I think there was some on the right hand side, right on the floor. They're not... Oh, look.
There's a big one here.
Yeah, and also, look, there is one here, and there's a massive one down there, and so on. I know. Isn't that awful? You can't get it to it. Okay. So that's some cucumbers, and I just got some dahlias here for my small vases, so I'm going to pick these as well. So I'm just going to pick all that is to be picked here. I'm just going to remove those aubergine plants. And I'm just going to harvest what is to be harvested here. So these peppers, I'm not going to wait for them to ripen because that might never happen. And there is a lot of infestation of it's a white grape. Okay, so I had one of the aubergines, and few are at the stage that they can still maybe grow, so I might leave them. I'm obviously removing all that failed growth of the as I go along to make the greenhouse nice and tight, and so on. So all these are actually jalapenos. Let me just bring them closer. This is actually jalapenos, and you should really, if you don't want them too hot, harvest them at this stage. But we left it too long. I didn't have the time to process them when they were ready. So they're not great. I have to say I had a better harvest growing them in the sunshine last year in an almost open thing, and then this greenhouse does not lend itself to growing that type of crop. Different chili, and that's done okay. This is actually sown by me, so they were the very well late chilies, and I think they did manage to catch up. It's not massive harvest, but it's good enough. Still, that might still produce something. I can see some buds which set the fruit, so I will keep that one. Let's have a look. What else do we have? Well, that one is got. There is something here which might ripen. I don't know. And there is at least shall I risk it? I'll take it home, put it in a paper bag. It will ripen. I've done that last year. They were perfectly fine. So that's okay. Just taking the debris as we go along. This is also completely dead. Right. So there should be one little harvest of, even if they were to be green, they still were probably having. Okay, this is the yellow one which didn't do very well at all. I'm not going to be keeping that. That is definitely going. There's another jalapeno. And that is more, although not the best sizes. I mean, they should be really that sort of size. They should be really that sort of size, and some of them are sort of half of the size. I'm sure they're going to still taste fine. It might look quite pretty in a jars with all this mixture of of red jalapenos as well. They're quite easily recognizable. So this is the oversized courgette which I'm gonna make. A friend of mine gave me a very good recipe for marrow curry, and I think I've got some kohlrabi and turnip to harvest as well. Here is the bed of giant kohlrabi, and I don't know if you can see this. Well, this is the bed of giant kohlrabi, and I don't know if you can see this, although they've been munched. There is several of really nice sized kohlrabis here, but I'm gonna just take one, and it will allow some of the beetroots behind there a little bit of space. I'm just gonna quickly trim that. Obviously they can withstand certain amount of attacks from predators, because the leaves look like okay. Okay, so that's one giant kohlrabi. Great grated on salads. I just eat them as a snack. And underneath there, I just harvested. The bed is completely infested with whitefly, but there is a reasonably sized turnip here. Well, it's Friday evening, and another bit of harvesting this week, and I just decided, because things are falling off, I've decided to get the Pearson apples in. Well, that came off the tree very easily. So these are the two only ones I have. And we're gonna also harvest the Concord pears. I don't want them to sort of perish. Oh, they are coming off now easily. They are. So I will I can see that they've been yes, they do come up. They start to be pecked on. So that's the time. I mean, some of them are better than others. This is the first harvest of the Concord, and there's a couple of commies. I mean, this one looks quite nice, and you can see the difference between the Concord and the commies on the right hand side. But obviously, you know, one of them performed really, really well. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take off these remaining cooking apples. So this is Bramley, and I'm gonna take them off because I'm gonna make some sauce, applesauce with them. We don't eat an enormous amount of applesauce, but that would be probably enough for us for a while. So just a twist. They're looking fine. So I had on this tree I had 5 this year. You see, so that's okay. And this one is our green sleeves. So that's the green sleeves. Let's see how many we manage. I mean, I will have to be very careful. I do that off camera because that I don't want to snap the branch. They're coming off quite nicely, actually. Oh, look. This is what I am afraid is going to happen. They're being eaten by something and then ants come on. So that's why we're taking them off now. Because they've been propped on the... Now these are all my apple and pears this year. This is the first year they've been actually fruiting, and I would say they didn't have a easy task because they haven't been watered. I think they still have done quite well, and I wonder how much is that due to the bees being there and really pollinating them well. But I'm going to have a look if there are any tomatoes again to be picked. I've picked a fair amount of those tomatoes about 4 days ago, and that was in the beginning of this video. And now I have another lot to pick. There's a second lot of tomatoes. That's from the Crimson Crush, and these are some polytunnels tomatoes and few smallish few smallish aubergines. But this is very first ever watermelon, and as you can see, if you can see that, well, Nigel, hold this, you've got big hands. So you can see how big it is. We're going to get home and I will take a picture when I cut it in half, what it is. There is one more still, maybe still growing, I don't know. But it's the very first for us, so it might be not very good, but it doesn't smell of a melon, does it? But it's very first from us. So all in all, quite a good harvesting week, wouldn't you say so?
Yep. And now we're going home to eat some of it.
Right, well, we also harvested more and more beans, which I haven't shown, because Nigel, every time he comes to the allotment, brings some beans with him. Well, certain things are trailing off. I expect quite loads more tomatoes to come. They are just on the cusp, and weather permitting and not having too much rain, they might just turn red, the rest of them. But we had a very good harvest this year, like most people. And cucumbers, they're kind of trailing off now, I think. What we haven't done so far is corn. Nigel is laughing, but we will have a corn reveal, okay? And that will happen at the same time as we'll be cutting off some of the squashes, and that might be, I don't know, next week or the week after, because they're still growing, they're still fairly green. I mean, the stalks are green, and the plants, although there is a powdery white stuff on the leaves, they still seem to be feeding them. So that will happen later. But that's it. We have next week we're going to be doing dedicated dahlia bed and another sort of flower bed. I think we've planted some more cabbages in the meantime. So we are doing things, not major things. I've got a war to declare on whitefly in all the sort of netted beds. What else would you like to say, Hanban?
Goodbye.
Have a lovely weekend, and it's a goodbye from me too. Bye bye for now.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.